We are live at Tacos and Tequila. David Banner, all the way from Mississippi.
How are you?
Welcome to Kansas City.
It's a blessing to be here. I'm happy to be here.
We're happy that you're here. Okay, so we're at Tacos and Tequila. So what comes first for you, the tacos or the tequila?
Neither. I'm working out right now. You see me?
I see you, the muscles. Okay, taking us to the gun show.
Yeah. No, honestly, for me, it's I'm trying to cut down on it. I was a screaming alcoholic at one point in my life, and if it'd probably be the tacos.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm a foodie too. So what made you make that lifestyle change?
What made me? I was gonna die.
Really?
Yeah, my doctor said I had 3 months. Like, I had high blood pressure, sleep apnea, and there was something else that was really, really high. And so I just decided that I wanted to live. And this trainer named Scott Parker, out of Florida, but he had relocated to L.A. and Gainesville, Florida, and he knew my publicist, and we knocked off like 45. I believe he was 45 or 65 pounds in 3 months. The crazy thing was, me as a Southerner, they never really made us drink water in my household. I never drank a gallon of water in one day. So I thought I was cool because I played 6 games of basketball and wasn't sweating, but I was actually dehydrated. And so ever since then, and then, everybody said, oh, he's doing that for the girls, and all, that was cool, but I really wanted to do it to live. But let me tell you how powerful God is. I'm from the most unhealthy city. BET had a study about 6 years ago. I'm from the most unhealthy city, from the most unhealthy state. So for me to make that change in the midst of all that I had accomplished, it gave a lot of people from the places that I like where I'm from, you know what I'm saying, to get healthy and for them to be serious about, their diet. In most cases, we don't know this. We still eat like slaves, and we're not slaves. You don't have to eat like a slave. You're not a slave. You can eat better food. So,
Okay, so you tour and everything. So what's the hardest thing about being on tour and staying on the healthy lifestyle?
It's not hard. That's a lie. People are just lazy. There's grocery stores in every every place that you go. People can't lie about that. Right. You know what I'm saying? There may not be as many grocery stores, but you can find it. And to be honest with you, even before I was eating healthy, I learned that from LL Cool J. He was like, he would take his per diem money and go get like a slab of turkey. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Some bread, some Miracle Whip or whatever. And that same amount of money, like, you can save your per diem up. And you know what I'm saying? The same amount. And we don't know this because we don't hold ourselves to a certain level, especially as it pertains to accounting. Right. Like that money that you spend every day at McDonald's, you know what I'm saying? Times 7, right. Times 12, you know what I'm saying? And, it started affecting my pockets. It was like my body got lighter and my pockets got heavier.
Yeah, it is. You got to spend money to make money, and health is wealth.
Yeah, I love your skin.
Thank you. Extra chocolate right here.
Even the lady behind the camera, she got pretty teeth too.
I know.
Go ahead and show it, girl.
Hey, Colgate Crest, cut that check.
You know what I'm saying? Let's go.
All right, so 20 years later, Like a Pimp, that's when you first debuted your first single. What's it like to be on a tour like this, Tacos and Tequila, and just be reunited with all your fans?
Well, the thing that I'm the most excited about is to see all these kids sampling my music. Like, that's amazing to me, to see the next generation keep it alive, like regardless. And, one of the hardest things about being a hip-hop producer is that, we can't even, other people own our publishing, and we can't even sample. I have a cousin from a group called Freedom. I can't even sample my cousin's music because they don't own the rights. You know what I'm saying? So for me to be able to say that it's okay for kids to use some of my music and for me to be able to help push hip-hop forward means a lot. As far as me reconnecting with my fans, that's reconnecting with some of my fans. I'm one of the few people, who didn't turn away from social media. That was from my generation in the beginning. I embraced it. So, like, I had millions of followers before people really knew what that was. You know what I'm saying? So I stayed engaged with my fan base and with my people. So we just catching up with some people who decided to go the job route and maybe checked out the music for a minute, and I'm happy about it.
Okay. Cadillacs on 22s. You still riding on those 22s?
Nah, I gave that up a while ago. It's so funny that you say that. I gave most of my dope boy cars up. You know what I'm saying? Stop buying rims. I tell you something funnier is that I stopped collecting shoes like finally this year, and I'm moving to dress shoes and
Okay, so no more rims, no more sneakers. So what are you putting your money into now?
oh, businesses, things that will help make me money back. You know what I'm saying? It's so crazy. I started a you go to davidbanner.com. I started a clothing line, and I'm serious about this. Back when I used to buy Louis Vuitton and Gucci and all that kind of stuff, my accountant brought me a bill for the amount of money that I was spending, and that was the amount that I spent on my clothing line. So the funny thing was, regardless of whether people, if they bought my clothes or not, which they did, my Black Power fist, that clothing line went crazy. Um, but I was wearing my own clothes, and even if I did nothing but wear my own clothes, it was mine. And so that money wasn't going out the door to somebody else. It was going out to something that I genuinely like and people that I love design. You know what I'm saying? So for me, that's something I want to be an example to the black community. Our dollars keep going out of our community, and those people never put it back. You know what I'm saying? So if we can keep it in our community for a certain amount of time, and we wouldn't have to beg and be worrying about what other people doing and if other people going to jail or whether we can vote or do anything else. If we could take care of ourselves, I always say if we had us, we wouldn't need them.
Absolutely. Now, speaking of the black community, and you mentioned the word voting, and I know that this year is a political season coming upon us, and then I know that you get really involved in the community. What do you have to say to the young people that don't think their vote matters and just getting people to the polls this year?
Well, this is what I'll say, because I'm sort of steering away from that, and I'll tell you why. I have dedicated more of my career to social activism more than most people who have gained what I've gained. There's a lot of political artists, but there's not a lot of political artists that have as much to lose as some of the people that I know, and myself. And I've dedicated 10 solid years to just my activism, and I realize people are either going to do it or they're not. Right. And I think part of the problem is, and I say this all the time, I think the story of Jesus was not to show you that another man could carry your cross, but Jesus being an example of how to carry the cross for yourself. So many of us want somebody, to come out of the sky, somebody outside of our community. No one is going to save you from anything but you. No one is going to, black children are our cross to bear. No other person is going to do that the right way, and why would you want that? Right. So, if we don't create, political entities, raise them up, because white people raise their presidents up. They raise their mayors up from day one. We're going to have to pick, because you could tell, because I used to be a teacher, you could tell the leaders in your classroom. The same person that could be a leader of any organization, and you know what kind of organizations we used to, those could be our mayors. If guided and placed around the right amount of people, I think it's our responsibility to take care of our community. And the other thing is, we spend so much time being in fear and scared of other people. I will say this. The Democrats are no better than the Republicans as it pertains to black people, the black community, and we are going to have to stop giving away our votes without having something that comes with it. Like, one of the things me and my mother got into an argument about when Obama was president and he was going into his second term, my mom was just like, just vote, just vote, just vote. I was like, no, what's the agenda? What's the contract? And as a political entity, they're going to have to say it out of their mouth in front of other people, not just them give us a piece of paper and they shake their head like, no, this is what black people want. If you notice any other subsection of culture, they know exactly what it is they want, whether it's voting rights, whether it's same-sex marriages, whether it's whatever it may end up being. You know exactly the things that they want. And if you ask 10 people out of that subsection or that subgroup, at least 7 of them are going to say the same thing. We don't know what we want. So even if we got the political pundit in that we wanted, what are they going to give us? I'm tired of hope. I want something you can write down on a sheet of paper or you can eat or live in. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah.
So you're just calling for young people to step up and be the next leaders rather than waiting for somebody.
Yeah, and you know what I'm saying? Voting only takes, this is how I feel about voting. Voting only takes, less time than it takes for you to roll a blunt. You roll a blunt, smoke a blunt, and that's it. You know what I'm saying? That's the same amount of time. So regardless, I don't have a problem with voting. I don't have a problem with politics, but I don't think that that's going to solve any of our problems. I think that's something for here and for now if we have a plan that's connected to it. But our savior is going to come from us, and it's going to come from people that look like us, and it's going to come from a plan, not just something somebody else thrown upon us when it's time.
All right. Well, there we go. I can't keep you for too long because I know that you got to get up on stage. But one last question. What is your favorite song to perform that gets the biggest reaction from all your fans?
Okay, davidbanner.com, davidbanner.com. Make sure you go and support. To be honest with you, it was, wow, it changes with time. For a long time, it was Play because the girls like that so much.
The ladies love it.
You know what I'm saying? Then Chris Brown, that's just phenomenal. He's a phenomenon. So, like, for a very long time, especially on the West Coast, Get Like Me. But it just shows you how those classic songs are what matter. The kids brought back Like a Pimp. I'm telling you, because so many people are sampling it, and that beat is so hard. And what's crazy is that's the song that put me on, but it wasn't the hit song that gave me the most commercial success. A lot of times when you had those super, super big songs, when they gone forever. But those classic songs, whether they got the spins that they deserved on the radio or not, the hood always prevails in the end.
Absolutely. I never forgot when I first saw your video debut on 106 in Park. And I'm like, what is this guy doing? You were in the graveyard with the Confederate flag and you're like jumping over something. Yeah.
It's so funny that you say that. I give you a little bit more time. Is that you're one of the only people that ever noticed that. Like, people are so surprised how political they say that I am, but I don't believe that I'm political. I believe that I'm an alpha man from the black community who has seen and been able to gain some things. And what kind of man would I be to not spread my blessings, to get knowledge that our people can't even pay for? Why wouldn't I come back and spread that? But what people don't understand, I've always been that way. Like, it wasn't but 2-3 girls in the video that was talking about, that video was about throwing racism, pushing racism out of Mississippi, and most people never saw that.
I saw it.
I appreciate it, beautiful. I do.
I appreciate you. David Banner, Tacos and Tequila. Make sure you follow him. Tell him your social media.
David Banner, that's all it is. Everywhere you go David Banner. I've been able to get it. I just want to say one thing. I would like to thank everybody for allowing me to grow up, to see my little brother T-Pain, for him to make the comeback that he's been able to make, and for him to be here tonight. On the last show, I was able to see Bubba Sparks. I hadn't seen Bubba Sparks in years. Young Jock jumped on Get Like Me. He gonna jump on stage tonight. Just to be able to see good music stay around for this amount of years, and for us to be able to do it in an environment where we can enjoy ourselves, I'm grateful.
Thank you.